Ever feel like you're not as smart as you think you are? Don't worry, neither am I. But what if I told you there's a way to outsmart 90% of the people? No, this isn't some feel-good self-help pitch. It's more like a wake-up call. You see, your brain might be working against you right now. You're not lazy, you're just caught in a mental trap. A trap that most people spend their entire lives in without realizing. This trap is called cognitive bias. If you don't learn to recognize it, it dictates everything you do. What you buy, who you trust, how you judge others, and even how you make decisions. Here's the harsh reality. Most people don't actually make decisions. They just react. They operate on mental autopilot, convinced they're being logical. In reality, they're falling for one of over 88 known thinking traps. Ever had an argument with someone who just wouldn't budge? Yep, that's probably bias at work. But here's the kicker. You do the same thing. So do I. Our brains are wired for survival, not truth. If you don't learn how to question your own thinking, you'll remain stuck in mediocrity. Let's dive into an example. You hear about a plane crash on the news, and suddenly flying seems terrifying. This is thanks to the availability heuristic. Your brain assumes something is likely just because it's memorable. Yet statistically, you're more likely to die slipping in the shower. Do you panic every time you step into a shower? Didn't think so. That's how bias works. It feels like truth, but it's not. So, what can you do about it? Let's talk tools. There's one habit that can give you an edge over most people. Second-order thinking. Most people stop at the first consequence, like skipping the gym. Seems harmless, right? But second-order thinking digs deeper. Okay, I skipped today. That makes it easier to skip tomorrow. Before I know it, it's been 2 weeks, and I feel like a failure. I've lost momentum and self-respect. You don't just ask, what happens now? You ask, what happens next, and what comes after that? Real thinkers don't just react. They analyze, strategize, and predict. It's not about being cold or robotic. It's about thinking clearly when others are panicking. It's about being 5 steps ahead while others are on step 1. Let's explore this further. Your brain dislikes work. Thinking requires a lot of energy, so it cuts corners. That's why you'll scroll for hours instead of tackling a problem, and why you trust your gut instead of examining the data. Here's the silver lining. Just like muscles, your brain strengthens when you challenge it. So, start small. Before making a decision, pause. Ask yourself, what's the opposite of what I believe right now? Try arguing against your own opinion. Feels odd, right? That's the point. You're training your brain to think, not just feel. Here's the bottom line. Most people live inside their own mental echo chambers. They scroll, consume, and react, but rarely stop to challenge themselves. They don't ask, what if I'm wrong? Is this emotion helping me or tricking me? Am I thinking or just following a script? Start training yourself to pause and think more deeply. You'll begin to see things others miss. It's not magic or talent. It's just mental discipline. And that discipline is rare. Those who master it tend to outsmart, outthink, and outmaneuver 90% of everyone else. So, if you're still here, ask yourself, are you going to watch another video after this? Or are you going to do something with this knowledge? Your move.